We just have to get a connection going here. See if we get this right for once. Just gonna keep doing this until... All right, can everybody hear me? Are we good? Is the audio good? Does it exist? Please tell me it exists. Okay, it's telling me I'm live. Just hoping we got audio here. Can people hear me? Are we good? Oh, hey! Now I don't know if that's directed at me or a comment. Doot. Hey! Can you guys hear me? We good? Yay! Okay. Alright, so finally we started a stream on time because Game Show decided to work. Okay. So, hey, how's everybody doing? Hi, Auntie Creeps. Hi, Mr. Davis. Hi, Chan. Can't pronounce the beginning bit of that. Okay. Shut up, Space. Or should I call you Dr. Bloodhusband? Thank you. It is nice to be back. I really didn't know what to do. Yeah, I know I'm 4 minutes early. I just didn't want to be, 20 minutes to half hour late like the past couple of times. Trying to make up for that. I have to agree about the ass shutting. Okay. That's weird because I've got all these people in the chat, but YouTube's telling me I have like one watching. Okay, but anyway. Alright. Oh, okay, now it's updating and it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. Alright, so... Alright, I just kind of wanted to do this stream and to see... Yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. I butcher people's names and I always feel terrible about it. But, yeah, I wanted to kind of do this stream because I know a lot of you guys were following what was going on, and I appreciate all the love and support. That was amazing. Thank you guys. Just some stuff I noticed was kind of rumor mill was starting to swirl, and I just wanted to clear the air about what happened and kind of how I came back, or because unfortunately I still don't have a whole lot of data on that, but I don't think I'm ever gonna get more. So really what happened is Wednesday I was going in, I was working on my descriptions, and all of a sudden I got a notice that I was flagged. Only thing I would have missed out is the streams, which is nice. Hi Fuzzums, how are you? Okay. Sorry, it's choppy, guys. I'm waiting for it to come back to green. Okay. Come on, what's going on here? Okay, you keep telling my stream helps nothing, but... Okay, so... But what happened was the Puppet Horror episode got flagged, and that Horror episode is about 8 minutes long, which is important because as I was watching it, I caught something that could have possibly been a violation, as fake as it was. I know I tweeted out that photo for you guys, and stream's cutting in and out for anyone else. Okay, yeah, sorry it's choppy, guys. Okay. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if there's a way to prove that. Your experience buffering. Alright. Stream options. Let's see if I can cut it down a little more to make it easier. Okay, ultra low. Is there an added delay? There doesn't need to be. Okay, it's gone back to green. Hopefully it's a little nicer now. Yeah, sorry guys, I can't unfortunately do anything about Comcast being Comcast. That could very well be. I'm just saying, like, this all happened after I did another live stream where I kind of said some smack about YouTube, just not saying they're connected, just pointing it out. So, alright, and I'm still connected on here. Alright. So is this coming through a little better for you guys now? Because I'm trying to dip everything as low as I possibly can. Hi, Bad Bones. But, so, All right, so kind of moving along is Puppet Horror episode got flagged. As I was watching the episode, all of the sudden I got another one for the music and horror episode I did with Critical Android. And I knew offhand that one was clean. Like, I don't even think we really cursed during it. Like, it was pretty PG. Or it was, I wouldn't even say PG. Oh, oh my god, it cut out. Okay. All right, all right. Okay, my stream completely cut out and it just resumed. I think YouTube knows I'm talking about them. Yeah. Okay. So music and horror got flagged, and I was gonna go and I was filing appeals for both of them because you can appeal, and I kept getting that it was community guidelines. Hi, Wolf. How are you? But the problem is when they say community guidelines, they don't tell you specifically what you violated. And so as I'm filing appeals for these two things, all of a sudden I'm locked out. So I have to figure that out. Apparently, I had gotten 3 strikes in the span of about 9 minutes because I began the puppet horror episode when I got the first strike, and I had just finished up when I got the third. So, like that. So the deal with YouTube is if you get 3 strikes, it doesn't matter on copyright or if it's on community guidelines, you're done. They terminate you. It's 3 strikes within 3 months. And I didn't know any of this because I've had no strikes the entire time I've run this channel. It's one of the few things I kind of had of going for me. It's part of why I'm a little like so anal about what I show, because I try and avoid things like that. So I began to reach out to try and figure out why in the world I got that many breaks that quickly, because the only thing I could think is either that caught me and something dinged on me and it pulled, or Alright, I'm just gonna keep talking. Tell me when you guys can hear me again. I know I'm on a bit of delay. I'm just gonna keep making noise. Okay, so it's good for Wolf. Alright, alright. Yeah, it keeps flashing that I'm offline. uh, Sketchy, can you not do that, sweetie? Oh yeah, yell at me. I gotcha. Sorry, cat's behind me in the box. Yeah, maybe YouTube. Like, they're probably not happy with me right now, because yeah, it was. The cat is completely alive, honey. It's sketchy. Like, she is definitely alive. That's how she's making noise with the box. Okay, I'm back at green, so let's hope this lasts for a minute. But I found the one still in the puppet horror episode. Music and horror was clean, and the last one was childhood fears. That again, Critical Android and I did. So I'm like, we're talking about our childhoods. Um, yeah, Comcast explains everything. You're absolutely right. Um, well, Critical maybe it's your internet. Three. Our game. Okay, so they had locked me out. I got back in. I was filing appeals. And so I had no idea what to even begin to do to get the thing back. And when you file an appeal for termination against your channel's termination, it's a one and done thing. They said you cannot file a second appeal. So after the appeal was rejected, which we have some theories on that one. Basically, our belief is, because I was running this by a bunch of other creators, mostly Rainbot and Nightmare Expo, but there were plenty of other people offering and willing to help. But they said in the forum, like, you get one shot at this. So I basically said, look, I don't know where I'm in violation. I've run through the community guidelines myself. Critical Android did it when he was on the phone with me, and I had like 2 or 3 other people that had seen the episodes go through, and they couldn't figure out where I was in violation. So I told them all that, and they just said, nope, your channel's terminated. And we had all said if a human being at any point had laid their eyes on the videos, we do not believe the termination would have stood. So I get on the phone with YouTube. Like, believe it or not, I got somebody on the phone. I talk to them, and they're like, well, we can't do technical support. I'm like, well, it's not really technical support, but fine, whatever. They told me to file a second appeal. Thank you, Tara. Pterodactyl just sent $2, which I actually officially made money off this channel because of Tara, for defeating Comcast, because Comcast is terrible. I feel you on that one. But really do appreciate that. So when I got on the phone, she said, okay, file a second appeal. And I told her flat out, I'm like, the forum says not to. It flat out told me, do not touch this appeal form again, because it overloads their systems. And I get that. But it's also a little frustrating when you get the exact same response that you originally got in the original email. There was no more clarification, nothing. Hi, Sebastian. And great pun there, Tara. Yeah, I am a huge fan of puns, and I know Critical and Space are as well. So hopefully we're a pun-loving group here. Yeah, I did that. And so she tells me to file in a second appeal, and she's like, oh, also go to this forum and post so an expert can help you. And still, as of this moment, no response to that forum post. I've been keeping an eye on it just in case. I am Tentacle, yo blood, grats on getting your channel back. We'll be trying to listen without, oh yeah, totally. And I do make sure these things get put up after the fact. So if y'all have to bail, don't worry about it. It'll be there for when you are. Hopefully, maybe a little less glitchy. Who knows? So I get the second appeal back, and of course it's still no. And it even specifically said, it's like, we see you filed another appeal. If you haven't gotten a result, wait and be patient. If you have gotten a result, that stands and says, no, there is no second appeal. Exactly what I told the employee. So that was a little frustrating. And then it really was just everybody coming together, because the Twitter, the original posts were just complete reactionary, me being in shock of like, this is a prank, right? Like, they did something weird, right? It was just me putting that out there, and then all of a sudden people started coming in and kind of grouping together and pointing out like, no, this is not cool, like, at least give a reason. Because I was totally on Sunday, like yesterday, I was 100%, I'm not getting my channel back. To the point where, and this is how I found out I was back, I had made, because this will be the next thing I talk about, I had made a new email and was making a new YouTube channel under a different name. Like, I had gotten to that level. I was verifying that email to get a YouTube channel when I realized And I clicked on my little play button logo, and I saw that things were back. It wasn't just all grayed out. There's like something's weird here. And I click on it, and all of a sudden my voice pops up, and my husband just like looks over and just, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I think my channel might be reinstated. I have no idea how or why. It's like, can you check on your phone? So he pulls it up and he's playing, and we realized I was back. I found the email, and all it said was, yeah, after review, we've decided you have not violated community guidelines. So that was nice. It was just, I guess, third time was a charm on that one. And I can't say the article didn't help, because that was a major factor, I'm sure, because that's really what put everything nice and shareable. That's why I made that Imgur post of just kind of outlining everything, because I know a lot of people were thinking that I had gotten popped on copyright. Absolutely not what happened. I was still 100% fine on copyright. I've never received a copyright strike. It's actually why I tend to use still images, because I've watched major YouTubers that play bits of songs and all that, always for critical purposes, always a transformative work, get popped for copyright. So, and I know a lot of people have been coming to me for advice about this, and I'm more than willing to help with that. I absolutely will help you fight if I can. It just, if it's on copyright, I don't know, because I haven't been through that process. Not quite Fuzzums. I'm actually going to get to that in just a second. So again, I'm good on copyright. I checked today, I have 0 strikes. I'm back to that. So apparently that Imogen puppet horror wasn't even an issue. Here's kind of what the game plan's going to be from here on out, though, is I'd like to believe that a human being looked over my channel and didn't see a violation. I'd like to believe they looked at my content and said, no, she's giving enough context, nothing's too graphic, da-da-da-da. I thank you, Wolf. It is weird, and the best explanation I could get is I was back and forth with somebody who was trying to help me out. They said that there was a bug that I guess was popping on certain things and then giving strikes really quickly back to back. They said that the bug had been fixed, and that's how I got reinstated. That doesn't explain how I got through a second review, how I got through why they decided to keep my channels terminated, because somebody should have looked at it. Like, my understanding of the review process is, even if the bot catches you, a human being at YouTube is supposed to look at you on the second one. I could be totally misunderstanding that, but that was always what I got. God, I'm being lifted away by this wind. If you don't hear from me, call the Castor Twister. Alright, yeah, we got that. I will get on my little bicycle with the bell and the basket, and I'll put Toto on it. Yeah, correct. A review is supposed to be done by a human. Okay, Critical is going to come in and correct me on something. I'm just going to sit here and sip tea till he finishes typing. Whether they actually do that or not is unknown. And that's our theory, is they ran it through another bot. Bot popped me. Whatever. So, the bot bug has supposedly been taken care of. I know Bloodbath and Beyond posted that a friend of theirs got taken down. I've never seen this person's content, but by what they said, they talk in front of the camera about horror movies. I'm going on a completely secondhand account about that, though. I just really don't like the idea of spreading misinformation. And knowing Bloodbath and Beyond, I'm inclined to believe what they're going to say, because they've been around a while. Because I actually did immediately kind of go to them. We had a theory that my name might have been what did it, because blood and guts. Critical even joked social commentary might have popped him off. Sucks that happened. Really like the educational standpoint you do. Yeah, and I'm going to keep doing that. That is absolutely going to be happening. Can't be held accountable for anything. They make their own rules and no one keeps them accountable, because no one is above them. Yeah, that is an issue too. And I know I've been talking about expansion before all my issues with YouTube. I'm still doing that. I've actually finalized some things today. Who watches The Watchmen? Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Exactly the problem. So, we're worried about the blood, we're worried about the guts. Since I was already pretty well underway to making a new channel, I had a name picked out, I finalized channel art today. I'm keeping this channel. I'm absolutely keeping this channel, but I am rebranding it. I am now going to go by the name After Dark Analysis, which was suggested by Critical Android. I'm actually going to see if I can pull up the channel art to show you guys what that's going to look like. I just wanted to kind of tell you guys this was going to happen. It's going to be the same stuff, still covering the same content. Nothing is going to change. It's all cosmetic and stylistic, just in case my name's what's setting them off. And this is just going to give me time to get footing and diversify the way I want to. Because I've been sitting, because I know a lot of people were bringing up VidMe and a lot of people were bringing up Twitch. I have had a VidMe and Twitch account for months now. Okay, I'm trying to bring this up for you guys. Okay, come on. Okay. Yeah, this is the first time I've actually got images working on this, so I'm really hoping this goes. Alright. Blood, Goots, and Social Commentary. Convention. Yeah, of course. You named it, so therefore you get profits. So you... if you're gay... dude, I don't know how to take 78% of $2. I don't know how to do that for you, man. You're gonna have to do the math on that one. I'm just the one sitting here streaming. Okay, are you gonna go? Okay, it's not bringing up the channel art, and sorry about that, but I kind of ran it through a bunch of people. We all agreed that was a name that made sense. So when I got torn down and I was completely convinced I wasn't getting this back, what program do I use to stream? Game Show, because I'm on a Mac. And wait, dismissively, we'll see it soon. Yeah, Critical's seen it and he liked it. I use Game Show because I'm on a Mac, and it was one of the few free options they had for Mac. Everything else was just like you have to pay, which is weird because Game Show, is the name implies, supposed to be a gaming thing, and I don't know why it's not better, but I got images working and I got started on time this time, so the third time was a charm again. Going to split. I was totally gonna split that with you. You do realize Dr. Bloodhusband is the only like breadwinner in the house, so we do have that like 1950s marriage going. So I had kind of divided up all my videos because I was assuming I was gonna have to build from scratch. I have some that the audio is good, just I'm gonna change the visuals to match what I'm doing now. And some, especially like, I think my first 4 or 5 videos, they're getting completely redone. It's going to be re-recorded, new visual standard, and that's just to make things nicer across the board, because really I was just trying to make the best of a bad situation and go, well, this is an excuse to revisit old content and put a better foot forward with... because I've been completely self-taught in this. I didn't ever take any kind of video class, recording, anything like that in school. So this is 100% homegrown trial and error. It's like what you see on the screen is me trying things. But since everybody seems pretty cool with the new visuals, and everybody seems fine with the audio now, I'm just going to try and standardize things. So you might see... for the moment, my upload schedule is going to be a touch off, just because I have to get my bearings back. But for a while, you're probably going to see an increase in videos. Some of it's going to be brand new stuff. Some of it's going to be old stuff I'm revamping. I'll try and differentiate which is which. I also mentioned earlier I had VidMe and Twitch. The VidMe is weird because it wouldn't let me change everything, so I had to delete it and make a new one today. Twitch let me change my name to the new one. I also got a Vimeo and what was the other one? Dailymotion. So I have channels on all 4 of those platforms. I'm going to start expanding into there and just see what works better. Would you be willing to start up a Discord if you already... Nineland, I have not started up a Discord. I can look into it because I was actually thinking about that today. Take your time. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Okay, everybody is really about the Discord. Yeah, no, absolutely. I can look into that. That's not a problem. No Pornhub account. You know, we joked about doing that because I'm like, if you want to talk unrestricted, Pornhub's kind of it. That's not the demographic. None on top. Yeah, no. On streams, I kind of let you guys dictate because if you guys want to talk about something, I have no problem talking about it. Because mine was pretty quick. It was more just telling you what happened, and then I'm rebranding. And I tried to keep people on social media in the loop for that because I figured it would be less confusing. Horror, yeah. No, if Pornhub wanted to diversify into that, that would make perfect sense because people keep saying there needs to be like a horror offshot. I have some ideas about that, but it's all so far-fetched that it's like I don't even want to talk about it. But most disturbing topic, I would say the one with the hardest research watches was probably freaking Vomit Core, because I've seen the Vomit Core trilogy before. I had to break down and buy a Lucifer Valentine's box set, which I don't mind because I like giving money to independents. It's just not something I would have felt the need to personally own in my collection if it hadn't been for that episode. And that was when I specifically tried to do solo. Oddly enough, I wouldn't call it disturbing, and you guys are probably going to make fun of me for this one. The 31 Days of Horror challenge I was in, the challenge this week was to specifically watch a movie that you've been putting off because you're afraid of it. And mine was Arachnophobia, because a bunch of people have told me I got arachnophobia from Arachnophobia. So, me being afraid of spiders, I'm like, this is not good. This is bad. So I go downstairs, because we had a VHS of it, luckily. Shove it in, sitting in a dark basement that I know has a lot of spiders in it, watching the movie. I was so freaking itchy. I had to take like a sanity break in the middle of it. It was like, that was terrifying for me, and I know it makes me sound like a little bitch, but it is what it is. Things do scare people. So yeah, definitely, like, there aren't that many spiders down there. Shut up. Like, shut up, Liza husband. You're not the one that's down there that is that much. Yeah, so, thing that scared me the most probably in a movie, Arachnophobia. Thing I found most disturbing is Vomit Core episode. And oddly enough, one of the films I rewatched for horror for people that don't like horror is In a Glass Cage. I own it. It's just one of those things. You buy it because it's not available via streaming, so you kind of have to buy it. It just kind of sat on the shelf after we watched it because it's really good, but it's a tough watch. It's a hard movie to get through. So it's like Scrapbook, because I've been actually trying to get a copy of that for an episode, but everybody's just like, yeah, I bought it and it sat on my shelf. I'm just not watching it again. Oh, yeah, you see a lot of scorpions in Arizona. Yeah, scorpions and wasps, like, I get those fears, guys. Like, yours are much more reasonable, because wasps will just keep stinging you in their assholes, and scorpions, yeah, they can kill you. But, yeah, channel's rebranding. I am also in the talks with somebody that I met a whole bunch of podcasters at Scares the Care weekend. So I've been in touch with a lot of them, and I have been talking for a while about not moving the channel to being a podcast, but just uploading my audio only as a podcast. I know a lot of people tend to differentiate when they do that, but doing 3 episodes a week, that's pushing it. So I'm gonna start branching into that. I'm kind of just waiting to see what platforms people would kind of like me on, because I have had requests pretty much since day one to upload my audio as well as a podcast, just because people can stream it easier, and I'm fine doing that. Because it's really not any extra effort, because I have to make the audio to make the video and do live shows. Yeah, I am going to try and start doing more streaming. I did promise you guys I would stream on the 23rd, and that is still the plan. I am going to stream on the 23rd because, insult to injury about this entire situation, 23rd is my year anniversary with YouTube. I am trying to work out details with that right now. I have an idea of what I want to do for that stream. I just need permission, and I shouldn't have a problem getting it. What about Halloween? I'm not 100% sure on Halloween. I am going to try and work something out, though. It might be the same thing I do on the 23rd, but week apart, it should work. Which horror movie is my favorite? Yeah. If I had to say the one I watch, well, two I would probably watch the most and still have an emotional reaction to is The Bad Seed and Spider Baby. And both black and white, just very different stylistically. I thought on Halloween, oh yeah, we are also sending children to therapy. We can do that after they come get candy. One of our neighbors wants us, because it's them, there's us, and there's a house in between, and they wanted to see if all three houses would be willing to do something to kind of terrify children. So I have to bring up our Halloween decorations and see what we can use and what we can't. Yeah, Spider Baby, it is an older film. It stars a young Sid Haig from House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Sid Haig played Captain Spaulding. But basically, it's him, two girls, and Lon Chaney Jr. plays a caretaker of sorts. And the kids all have this disorder that makes them regress into a prenatal cannibalistic state. And one of the girls likes to play a game called Spider, which is her acting like a spider, catching people in the webs. And if you know how spiders kill things, you can figure the rest out. Yeah, but it's a really good, pretty underrated film. It's one of the few I doubled up on because my DVD's signed by Sid, but I got the Blu-ray and that was gorgeous. I used to play that game. God, you miss blood though. Yeah, and that was funny because when Critical suggested it, he's like, well, it abbreviates to ADA, so people can call you that. And I'm like, okay, so some people are going to be calling me Blood. Some people are going to be calling me Prime because that's my handle in UHM. And UHM was pretty much the only people that watched this when it first started out. So a lot of them still call me Prime, and some people call me by my real name. So it's like, I already gotta have 3 names going in the comments. No one's gonna know. Lee's favorite horror movie. It is a cool name. It is. It's much better than my name, but fortunately it's not my name. The worst horror movie, I still stand by, it's The Mailman. I picked it up when Hollywood Video was closing out just because it looked like random Z-grade horror, which is totally my jam. I watched it and it's like, wow, it's the early 2000s. Everybody has cell phones, and this mailman is just messing around with people's mail. Like, seriously, he proves somebody, and this is really not a spoiler, but he proves somebody's having an affair with somebody else because he intercepts their love letters to each other. It's like, wait, if 2 people are cheating in the early 2000s and both have cell phones, like, they're going to be just calling each other. Like, you don't need to send paper. Don't put a paper trail into it. That's silly. What's I doing? Yeah. I completely understand that, Bad Bones. I've got, like, luckily I've kept it down to 1 handle as of now. And this, I even almost, when I was just, because I'm terrible at naming things, this is the first name I thought of is for the channel, and it's the one that stuck, and it's the one that everybody liked. It's the first time I've named anything successfully. Everything else was just me doing really terrible things, and I was almost about ready to use my handle from other things. I'm like, you know what? Everybody's just gonna call me that. Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving. I mean, it's not a good movie by any means, but it has a unique quality. Oh, Willow Creek. Yeah, yeah. I recently rewatched Willow Creek because the first week of October we were challenged to a Bigfoot binge, and it was Willow Creek. Oh god, it was Willow Creek, Love in the Age of Monsters, and I can't remember the third one, but I couldn't get Love in the Age of Monsters, so I only got two of them. Yeah. Legend of Boggy Creek 2. You know what? That movie keeps getting brought back up to me about Boggy Creek, and I've yet to watch it. I need to, but I just haven't yet. Just It's been on my to-do forever. I just haven't gotten around to it. So, okay. Takedown, comeback, rebranding. Name your channel Jurassic Mutant Exploding Boy. Why? I think people would be a little confused when they came on that my channel has boy in the title and I'm a girl. What about Werewolves? I want to say that's name. I haven't seen that one. God, there was one. It was Helen Keller versus Werewolf or something like that. I don't know. I'll see if Dr. Bloodhusband remembers. Hey, what? I know you're listening. So, what is the name of Helen Keller versus that thing that we watched? Night Wolves. Helen Keller versus Night Wolves. Instead of typing it in chat so everybody can see it, he screams it upstairs. That makes perfect sense. Hour of nothing, 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I can totally understand why people hated that movie. Okay, so done that. There's rebranding. The background, yeah. Yeah, he likes to yell upstairs. It's much better than his family would call each other from all over the house. It's like, we're in the basement. Why are you calling our phones when you're upstairs? Just yell. Movie from Trauma Dance that there was... Oh, I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about Crossbear, and I would be the only one that could get that. Yeah, when we saw Crossbear at Trauma Dance... Hi! Hi from France back? Yes, I am very glad to be back. Production. Wait, what about Cloverfield as a worse movie or just movie? Yeah, because I didn't hate Cloverfield. I actually don't hate a whole lot of movies, though. You really have to suck for me to hate you. Yeah, but the movie from Trauma Dance that was Crossbear, and the people that made it talked all through it, which I'm like, fine, whatever, that's your movie. Totally do that, fine. But then they started talking about other people's movies, and that's when we got a little annoyed. We eventually saw it again because I don't know what happened, but prices on that skyrocketed to like $80. I was like, I'm not paying $80 for a movie that I barely saw. And I'm just like, yeah, I was not committed to owning that after rewatching it. It just wasn't $80 worth it. For us, at least, I know plenty of people that bought it. My American Horror Story videos get views, makes me sad. Oh, I'm sorry, Bad Bones. Zeptard, I did see Split. I actually wanted to do an episode on it, but I couldn't find an angle on it that I felt like be enough content. And I originally thought I had a second movie for the planned episode, and then I confirmed with the director that I totally misunderstood his ending, which was unfortunate, but he didn't get too mad because it had also been like a year. He's like, oh, I understand, you know, things don't necessarily hold all that great. Oh, yeah, you don't like Hostel. That's coming up in an episode. I had to rewatch that the other day. It wasn't bad. Oh, yeah, Split, the controversy. That's always kind of been a thing, and I get it, and, you know, obviously, thoughts on gun control. Obviously, I believe there's a lot of social commentary in horror. Like, there's way more than people give it credit for. funny thing about Hostel, and I'm considering doing an entire episode on this, is it really is the ugly American stereotype, and how the constant abuse of foreign resources kind of came and bit us in the ass. Yeah, everyone's view on Split seems to be split. It just, there's some things that are very hard to put into a movie, and split personality is one of them. Like, there are a lot of very heavy, nuanced things that, to make it appealing for a mainstream audience, getting that deep in. You know the tie-ins. Yeah, and I don't think saying split personality is a spoiler, because, you know, yeah. And for Shyamalan, it was good. I'll give you that, Zeptard. It's always going to be hard, especially when dealing with, yeah, exactly. It's this thing also, mental illness across the board isn't the same for everybody too. Some people can I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, Bad Bones. Yeah, she corrected it to not to offend. I'm just saying that for people listening later. Everybody experiences a different way, though. Is one person's experience over here absolutely might not be somebody else's experience. Look at something like bipolar disorder. You have people that are rapid cycling. You have people that they can spend long periods of time in one mood. So, a lot of times, and I get the frustration of not feeling like you're being represented on screen. It is a very bad feeling. But it's also one of those things, if people don't experience it the same way you're showing, it upsets them and feels like, well, you were trying to connect with me, but you didn't. It's just so hard to freaking get across and do, especially in a sensitive manner. And yeah, Abraham, thank you. I am very, very glad to be back. Not the split personality, more the fact that Split is essentially a comic book movie. Just like... Well, Critical, I think you found an episode that you need to do on your new channel. Because he has Critical Horror is what your all horror channel is. Cringe like a little bitch at a Hostel. Yeah, no, I know plenty of people that said they did that. That's why I'm trying to cover sometimes more extreme movies, because I get people don't necessarily want to watch them. Because I've gotten this a few times as people are like, well, I really like the idea of exploring and delving in, but I don't want to watch it because I'm a... And normally they call them a little bitch. I'm just like, you have your preferences. That's fine. So that's kind of why I try and hit both. It's like, well, horror fans don't need to see a thing they've probably already seen. And the people that don't want to see it... Yeah, I try and hit a middle. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think the only thing from Hostel that got me... Yeah, the Achilles tendon slice. Yeah, those are not fun. You already reviewed... Well, then fine. I'm ignoring you now, Critical. Me, though, effects were good. Do the extreme. Eli Roth's gonna... Yeah. Yeah, Eli Roth, he knows what he can do. He knows he's got a core. That's not a bad thing. Some people think, like, just being a splatter director is a bad thing. It's like, not really. Peter Jackson's career was fine until even before, like, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, when he was doing splatter films. Just, again, it's not something you would put together. And, yeah, bring more viewers. The weird thing about Bones is, when I've covered the more mainstream broad topics that I thought were going to bring people in, those are like some of my worst performing videos. Like, I don't know how it is right now because I haven't checked my analytics. They've just been running around since I've been back. But last time I checked, because we have top 10 performing videos on the back end here, in that top 10 was the episode I did on Snuff, the episode I did on torture porn, and the episode I did on Vomit Gore. And Vomit Gore, I think, is just because I couldn't find anybody else who had covered it, or if they did, they covered one specific movie. So if people are looking for that, it's going to pop up. But it's just highly specific. it's, yeah. All your gross stuff, yeah, exactly. All of my more extreme stuff did really, really well. Just kind of hard line to walk where it's like, well, yes, I want to bring in views and I want to spread this and have more people joining in the conversation. It's just, you can't really do that with YouTube. You never live till you've watched Skeletor. I'm gonna take your word for that on some word on that, Sebastian, because we're a weird group. Wolf, yeah, absolutely. Glad to be back, Creepy. I saw all of love you were given. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, for anybody that shared the article, gave words of encouragement, anything like that, I really do want to say I appreciate it. Because I wanted to tag everybody when I came back, but yeah, there was just way too many people. It was just, and people today have just been, well, I only shared the thing, I only did this, and it's like there was no only in all of this. The group effort of people coming together and actually doing something, or just even remotely caring, that was more than enough. Like, people easily could have ignored it or told me to go fuck myself. And a few people did, but that's the thing. Like, they don't have to help. But just any small, simple thing, as much as you guys may minimize that, was helpful. Because we kind of all banded together and just got up YouTube's ass. That's why I'm trying to keep an eye on if this happens again. I'm talking to somebody right now and seeing if I can help them out. I've been reaching out to a few people that I've heard this happen to. I'm just not sure if they've been reinstated yet or not. What upcoming horror movie am I excited for? Yeah, since I can't go to theaters, I am excited for Annabelle Creation. It's weird because I really, really miss doll horror, and I know the all the films involving Annabelle have not been doll horror proper. It's been more ghost stories with doll involved, but I keep kind of hoping for Creepy Moving Doll. I don't know why, but I know that one's already coming out. What else do we have coming out? It's the new Halloween, because I am excited to see Jamie Lee Curtis back. Like, having Laurie Strode back is kind of cool. Damn it, there's a couple I've been excited about. Now I'm trying to remember. I do really want to see it, even though I already know that's in theaters and whatnot, but I do want to see it. Because first week of October, I think was one of our first horror movies. It was the first horror movie we watched in October. Was it the made-for-TV miniseries with the, spider? Hi, Savvy. Yeah, basically you missed just the story of why I got taken down and magically came back. Besides American movies, is there another country that, according to you, makes really good horror movies? Honestly, I really dig what's coming out of France right now. Japan. Like, the Asian market used to be amazing with gore and just kind of weird movies, and they still are. But France has had this weird thing coming up, and there has been a request for me to do an episode on that. It is planned, because I just watched Raw the other day. We rented it from our video store like 2 days before it hit Netflix, but whatever. And it's cool because everybody was just putting it in with frontiers and high tension and all that, and I think it's a disservice to that film. Of course I like France horror. You like France too. But I think it's a disservice to Raw because Raw isn't quite as graphic and it isn't quite as gore reliant, and that's not an indictment on it. It's just putting it next to gory films, I think, sets expectation in a way you shouldn't. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to give spoilers on anything, especially something that just came out. Gonna see it this weekend. Yeah, Italy is great too. I also have another request sitting for episode on Giallo horror, and that's just gonna have to be something I condense down because it's a huge genre. Okay. Of course, you like France horror hipster. I already read that. Why am I reading it again? I was just watching The Shining, and my brother typed writer. Oh, God, how? Yeah, I just now realized. I was like, wait, like, how was your brother? Because references for typewriters, yeah, like, Next Generation's not gonna know that. That's weird. It's on Netflix. Yeah, Raw is on Netflix. It's been getting cut out the entire time. I'm sorry. I keep saying my stream health's good now, but apparently it's cutting out, and I'm sorry about that. You know, yeah, YouTube is trying to convince everybody to leave. Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I got it back. I'm obviously very happy about that, but I'm still kind of trying to find answers and just trying to keep an eye on things and see what's going on. Because this is a problem. If a bug's gonna just start taking down random channels, that's a problem. And it's one of those, I can forgive that. And I understand tech's buggy. I understand they're big. They need some automation to help. I get all that. But the fact that I couldn't get in contact with another human being or get a why, that's what scares me. It shouldn't be this hard to be like, there is clearly a problem that you need to correct. Like, it, because I was down from Wednesday to Sunday. And, luckily everything seems to be the same. The only thing that's kind of weird right now is all of my videos have views, but my lifetime views are 0. So my lifetime views are 0, but I'm still partnered. Yeah, and a lot of people were also confusing demonetization with termination, which two totally separate things. I'm demonetized out the ass. Like, I'd say probably about 98% of my content demonetized. The stuff that still is monetized is so old and was so disposable when I put it out. It was like the health updates, some channel updates, things like that, that it's never going to bring anything in. So I'm not making money off of this, and I'm cool with that. The straw that broke camel's back with me was being torn down. It was more, I get if you don't want to pay me, I get if I'm not advertiser friendly. I can respect that. Just don't tear down my content. So this is why I know a lot of people are trying to move, and a lot of people were mentioning VidMe during it. And like I said, I am expanding into there. I'm still keeping YouTube. I'm not leaving YouTube. The reason being, and I think it's really a chicken and egg problem, is creators don't want to go to VidMe because it has nowhere near the traffic that YouTube does. But the problem is, without creators, VidMe is not going to draw traffic. So it's this big problem of people don't really want to step out and leave YouTube because they know they have something steady here. Because I started in the adpocalypse. Like, this channel has all been shit timing. I started in the adpocalypse. I announced that narration series like the day after the day after that whole thing broke out between Reddit and the narration community. Apparently there were narrators out there who were not getting permission to read people's stories and not giving credit, which is a big thing with the narration series. If anybody has worked with me, they know I either require you give me permission or I have to be able to prove it's fair use, because I'm not interested in bulking somebody out of credit. I even at one point, and this video will come eventually, I did a narration for Gothic Librarian's channel, and she had permission from the writer, and then I went and got permission to reuse that audio segment, tacking on my analysis on my own channel, because just I didn't feel right, even though he had given permission for me to read it. Having it spring up in another location with another purpose, that is just kind of a horse of a different color. Have I seen Clown? Yes, I saw Clown. Actually, I've seen Clown twice. I saw it when it first came out, and didn't that one get banned in the UK for a minute? Like, I remember something strange about that release. And Clown and White had a lot of controversy around it. But I did that, and I think I rewatched that for the Clown Horror episode, even though I didn't talk about it. Oh, you guys, Bad Bones, you guys have a typewriter. I'm going to assume it's one of the electric typewriters, or is one of the very old raised key, really have to push in things. Okay, I'm just Getting through to me. Sure. Went on the floor. Ooh. That's terrifying, Sebastian. I'm sorry you saw that. Someone. Speaking of, do we have a Patreon to support you? I get money on Friday. It helps. I do not have a Patreon because, as I kind of said, I already started in the apocalypse, so I really didn't ever expect to make money on this. The best thing I could ever ask for, and see you, creepy. The stream will be up later if you want to come back in, but have a good night. The best I ever hoped for was to break even. If there is a push for me to pay Patreon, I will, but I would probably do like dollar donations. I do have merchandise. I do it through Teespring, and I'll post a link to it if you guys want to see it. And I'm debating what I'm going to do with that right now. I'm obviously going to keep it. The only issue there is, since my logo is going to change due to the rebranding, a bunch of people like the old logo, so I might try and keep both. I'm not sure yet, or maybe do limited run of the t-shirt or of the logo for some kind of special thing. I'm not quite sure yet. So that's one of those things that's still a little up in the air. Alright, take me to my store. There it is. Okay. And I only went through Teespring because I had a couple of friends that bought through them and said the product was good. So I tried to do that. The way Teespring works is they take a cut. So they give you a suggested price. I cut mine down a little bit for the amount I get, but that was just because I wanted you guys to have reasonably priced stuff. Good night, Sebastian. Yeah, I appreciate that, Wolf. Yeah, and I have that linked at the top of the channel. It's gonna, like I said, gonna change. I'm not quite sure how yet, but I'll let you guys know if I decide to get rid of the old logo or do something limited or something like that. It's awesome, Savvy Bear. Actually, you did one for your school, like your high school, college, like it is impressive. I suck. I have a fine arts degree, but I was much more tactile and needed to touch everything, so I couldn't do anything digital, but absolutely respect people that can do it. Because Critical saw all the struggles I had because it's just been me running things through. People of going like, does this name sound good? Does that name sound good? Does this look good? Does that look good? And just trying to get everything nice and together so I can kind of launch it all about the same time. Okay, I did one on Redbubble. Yeah, I've heard, I know Rainbow goes to Redbubble. And I think she launched probably like a couple weeks after mine. And yeah, no, her logo, though, it works perfectly for what she's doing. There's that octagram, and she can repeat that pattern. Like, all of the stuff I saw from her was gorgeous. I was a little jealous and wanted some. Yeah, Critical, the struggles were real. Struggles were definitely real. That's what I'm sorry, I've been so scatterbrained the past few days. I just knew I wanted to talk about this because everybody was reaching out concerned. I know a lot of people were worried about X, Y, and Z. Totally, yeah. Bad Bones, she has a really enviable logo. This is really nice, simple, and clean, and I love it when people can do that. That's why it's just kind of logo. It's a cool logo. I do kind of have to change the logo a little bit because it doesn't make so much sense with the new name. But I think the old logo will appear. So, because basically the order is going to be kind of renaming stuff, and then I'm going to have to cut new intros because my intro's always been, hey, welcome to Blood, Guts, and Social Commentary. I have to say, After Dark Analysis. And also it's a little vague, so I can branch if I want to. mean, but I'm perfectly happy with what I'm doing, even after a year. Okay, I'll see you when you get back, Wolf. If you ever change your channel heart, though, hit me up. At the best of cheap slash free. I do definitely appreciate that, Sappy Bear. Yeah, I think I've worked stuff together with GIMP well enough because I use GIMP because it's free and I learned on that, not Photoshop. I had Photoshop for like a minute, but when my health went to garbage and I had to quit working, it was kind of, we just did that to cut the bills. But yeah, I use GIMP because it's free, and that's why all my stuff's made through iMovie, because I'm a big fan of freeware. Just because you can get some really impressive stuff in there. Yeah, no, Bad Bones, I've seen your drawings, and they are impressive. Yeah, there's, Doctor's also a really good artist as well. If I don't, did he leave? I don't know if Doctor left. But yeah, I've seen some of his speed paintings, so you guys are looking for art and some interesting style. I really liked his work. Yeah, and that was one of the big things that upset me when this thing went down. It was like, it sucked to lose the subs, it sucked to lose the views, it sucked to kind of have to rework my videos. But really what I was sad about was the comment sections, because everybody talks about YouTube's comment sections like they're cancer. And a lot of times they are, I get that. But my comment section is like essay style responses with like data and sources. There was so much good, solid research in there, either backing up what I said or completely going against what I said. Either one of them is great, because everybody backs what they say up. And it's actually kind of one of the problems I had literally right before, like, I found out about the issue of being terminated, trying to fix this issue, is my understanding was always YouTube filters comments with links in them as spam. And that I understand. I understand drawing that line. I always try and keep an eye on my spam filter and let people giving links through, as long as they're not obviously spam. But somebody had made a post, 0 links in it whatsoever, and it was just adding to the conversation. And there's somebody that's commented on me before. They're not every single video, but they're somewhat regular. Got marked as spam, so I let her through and responded. I was a little annoyed at that because maybe 2 days prior, I had made a comment on somebody else's channel, and then all of a sudden I get a reply back from a spam bot with a link saying, hey, here's where you illegally download this movie. And we knew it was a bot because the conversation I was having with the person's channel it was on was about how we knew directors and cast and crew from that particular movie. It's like, you don't tell friends, the director and the cast and the crew, that they should go download the movie and steal it. You don't do that. It's just not a good plan. And I just don't, because I would assume, knowing that channel the way I do, they didn't approve that comment to get through. And I know CZ's World had been complaining with all the videos he's done on it. He's constantly getting comments on every single video on where you can see it for free. So it's like, okay, so you're gonna spam flag a completely good comment with no link, but you're gonna let a whole bunch of spam bots through with links to, no, that's dumb. Having to figure out how to do it. Okay. I got some good ideas from your comment section for, yeah, I'm like, that's great. The comment section is good for research, and it is good for different theories, different viewpoints. People have pointed things out that I'm just like, I never even interpreted it that way, and gone back and I'm like, well, that's completely right, and that makes perfect sense. And not to mention all of the time you guys suggest things. That's, I think, part of why I didn't do a Patreon, because a lot of people do requests. Like, you get an episode request, or you get early episodes, or something like that. Problem is, with me doing twice a week, possibly thrice a week coming up, early videos are kind of a pain, and requests, keeping that just to a Patreon, like, I don't know, I think that would become a problem, because you guys for so long, for the past almost a year, have been like, hey, can you do an episode about this? And 9 times out of 10 my response is, yeah, I'll do it. Because I have plenty of episode ideas, and you guys have plenty of episode ideas that make sense. I mean, I've got about a 93-page document right now of just episode ideas and rough drafts. But all my needs just sending spam messages to Blood videos. Have no life. My life is meaningless. Avoid. Shut up, Blood's husband. I mean, I have a bot that makes bots that spams the videos. Well, the link they even posted, because I didn't click on it because I like my computer, like, STD free. But somebody else clicked on it, and they said it wasn't actually, they didn't actually have the movie. Which is good, it's just, it was gonna kill your computer with every virus known to man. Is then the specific movie, it was really bad timing, or really good timing on the bot's perspective, because it was actually premiering at a festival that weekend. Like, I think a day before it was supposed to premiere, that's when this bot popped up. She said she takes requests, but I'm told you I'm not doing Ernest Scared Stupid. It is off topic, and no, it's just not happening. Yeah, I concur with that. Hold your breath until I do an Ernest Scared Stupid analysis. Spoiler warning, never doing it. But yeah, Ernest fans unite. Are there Ernest fans? Like, does he have fan clubs? Like, does he have people that are all just, yeah, all one of them? Like, I don't even think I watched those movies as a kid, to be totally honest. You know, so it's like, okay, I'm just trying to make sure we've gotten through everything. Rebranding, I'm expanding onto other video platforms, I'm expanding onto podcast platforms. I still have no idea how I got taken down, so I'm basically re-gigging things and just playing massive CYA, and a big part of that's changing my name up, because just Blood and Guts does not look good, because even the takedown stuff kind of got outside of the horror community, and people were kind of saying, like, oh, Blood Guts, that's why you got taken down. The channel title makes it sound way more graphic than it is, and I understand that. So it's just, if me making a simple cosmetic change is going to keep this from happening again, I'll do it. Language. Did I swear? Honestly don't know. Yeah, that's why I probably shouldn't do live stream. I freaking swear way too much. Like, guys look good on the floor. I mean, I'm not going to confirm or deny I know that or don't know that from first-hand experience. But, yeah. So, is there anything you guys were interested in or wanted to talk about? Critical. Oh, yeah. You wouldn't be... You wouldn't hear him, though. It would be your eyes. Like, if you're reading somebody's comment on the chat, it would be your eyes. It would be something I said affecting your ears. Those are how senses work. Your hands touch things, your eyes see things, your ears hear things, your nose smells things. You know, I've just explained the senses to you. This is totally educational. My writing is so powerful, it resonates there. Oh, yeah. Because one of the stories I did read was Critical Androids. Or he read his own story, and I just analyzed it. Because I figure when the writer reads the story and sends it to you saying, hey, here's my story that I read, that's permission. I have screen caps of all this, by the way. So, TLDR, what did I miss? Critical's being an ass. Blood Husband is just being himself. I've explained how all the senses work, and that's pretty much it. Can I be Bloodchild? I'm not sure I'm not sure if I could give birth to a wolf. I'm pretty sure biologically that's impossible. But in the world of make-believe, sure. I think we'll just be for all of your fans. Blood children. Or blood... Yeah, it would have to be blood children because there's multiple... That's weird to say. I always say viewers instead. Just because I'm like, no, I don't have fans. What are you talking about? Oh. Well, it's not going to make sense when I become After Dark Analysis and everybody's called Blood Children. Children of Blood, that has to be a death metal band somewhere. I know Children of Bodom is. Oh. This is why sometimes letting you guys lead the stream is not the best plan. Alright, yeah, it's been a lot more G-rated than it was last time, though. So, yeah, Dark Blood Children. Well, all the OGs are going to be Blood Children, and the noobs can be called as. Doesn't matter, I'm still calling Blood Husband after... Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, I expect people are... I anticipate people are still going to call me Blood. People are still going to call me Prime. Some are even going to know my real name. Because... For the record, it's not that hard. You can find me pretty easily. I didn't mean to get you killed. No, yeah, that's fine, man. Yes, how dare you entertain people and make me laugh, you bastard. Yeah, now you can complain about your virgin ears. I'm not intentionally cursed. It's very hard not to in videos, I'm sorry. Okay, you need to stop every single live stream asking people to buy us pizza. Like, you really need to stop that, Blood Husband. Oh snap, real name. Someone used cheat codes. The article that was getting passed around, the guy that I kind of was back and forth with, he asked, I've live streamed twice, or 3 times. So 2 out of 3 times, that is a majority of the time. But, yeah, we were back and forth, and he asked if he could use my real name. And at that point, I was just so fried. I'm like, I just don't care. Here it is. So, and, I know All You Need Is Blood has called me by my real name once or twice. I've been on there twice. I think my name came out in 1, though. Yeah, it is really not hard to figure out who I am. Asshole McAssface. I recommend OBS to stream, by the way. OBS? It's Blood Children Unite, Blood Babies. I don't know, yeah, Blood Babies sounds a little... I was like, which one's better, Blood Children, Blood Babies? But, yeah, Blood Babies sounds more infantile, because babies. Yeah, because, like I said, because it's weird, YouTube has that whole... like, approved list of apps you can use. I'm not sure if other places will do it better. Because a friend of ours... Yeah, Blood Baby sounds nasty and kind of does. But look at what videos of mine trend. What was I... yeah, a friend of ours just started up a Let's Play channel not too long ago. And he actually started on Twitch... and came to YouTube because apparently YouTube was better streaming than Twitch. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if that's saying a lot for YouTube or really bashing Twitch. Blood Babies make think... yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Wolf. I'm like, I'm just thinking of fetuses all day. Can be blood children, noobs can be blood babies, and we OGs grow up can be blood teens. Oh, so full of angst. You should change your name to Asshole McAssface. You know, I've considered it, but it's just so much paperwork. It's so much money. After you rebrand as After Dark Analysis, we can be dark anals. I mean, could. I don't know how well YouTube would like that. Yeah, there goes any me getting monetized ever. Just termination. And okay. You know. See you, Nineland. Hope you have a good night and enjoy your food. Kill the fetus. Blood Husband's mapping out the entire evolution of Blood fans. So if I'm 21, I would be a blood adult. Yeah. Yeah, because now when you say blood adult, I can think of as the Hellraiser 1 and 2. It's just kind of like, there's no skin, so it's just like red jello all over the people. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody who hasn't seen Hellraiser, but I'm going to assume everybody here has. Wolf would be a blood dolt. Blood dolt, blood cult. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking Wolf is like. You're talking about blood cults? Yeah, I'm not going to start a cult, guys. That's just not going to happen. If I change my YouTube channel name to fuck you YouTube, it'll get to... Oh yeah, I guess I should tell you about Critical Android's protest video where he's gonna make fun of me because I can't remember who it was. But he just posted an hour-long video of this one actor who's been long dead, and I'm just like, there's dead in the name, demonetized, and it got, yeah, Jack Klugman? Jack Klugman. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and I understand that. It got demonetized, and then, didn't you say it got monetized again, though? Because I know you submitted for review, but the other thing about the review process is, if you get demonetized, you have to get 1,000 views in 7 days, and people like My Size, or Critical Android, or Zeptard, or, Bad Bones' size channel, we don't get that. Like, we just don't. Like, I think my best performing video right now has 3,000 views, and that's the torture porn episode, and that's old. That's really old. It was monetized, then demonetized, and then remonetized. That's what happened with the last stream. I didn't even finish. Like, I had just set it to archive to be able to set back up, and it was demonetized. Just completely demonetized. So I'm like, okay, click the review button just for shits and giggles, and even though I knew I was gonna make it, and then it was all of a sudden remonetized. So I have no idea why. Alright. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody's questions. So how do you feel about the Suspiria remake? Oh, okay. I just saw who asked that, so I'm ignoring it now. But isn't that thing been production hell for like 5 years now? I feel like that... I don't even think we were living together when Suspiria remake got announced. So it was like over 5 years ago. So yeah, I really think Argento's reaction to that, because as much as I respect Argento as a director, he's kind of an ass. Where he flat out said, he's like, yeah, fine, remake my movie, but it'll never be as good. It's just, that's how he is. So there's something to be said for that, and he's probably right. But then there's been some surprises recently. I haven't seen the new Blade Runner, but I've heard nothing but good things. Ghost in the Shell got really amazing reviews for God only knows what reason. Because, again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. Most people did not expect it to go well, but it's been getting nothing but praise. Hey, hug someone to make them grossed out. Yeah. I guess if I start a Patreon, that'll be my reward, is join the blood cult. I'll make up little, I want to say medallion, but I'm really thinking pogs. I'm gonna make pogs. That would be what I would make. What is the name of your new channel again? It's going to be After Dark Analysis. All the same, I'm just changing the name, that's it. Like when Rain dropped horror from her name, that's all it is. It's all gonna be the same place, same time, same bat show. Analysis, I think, wasn't paying that much attention. Yeah, that's fair. Don't ignore me, Bloodwife. I'm not ignoring you. Glad we don't have a rabbit right now. No need to snap, Bloodmother. Legit question, what piqued your interest in horror films? For me, I was looking at the covers and reading the backs of VHS boxes when I was a kid. Tentacle, it's pretty much the same thing. It's almost exactly the same thing. I grew up in a really restrictive household, entertainment-wise, and that's why I would go to Blockbuster or Wonderbook or Hollywood Video, because we had a bunch of video stores. Now we only have the one. And I would just look at the boxes, and I'm like, when I am old enough, I'm going to rent these. And I think about 13. It's when my parents kind of reneged a little bit and wouldn't let me rent things that I wanted to watch, and I was very interested in horror, and I blame my mother almost completely for it because I remember as a kid, she flipped the channel and there was like this gloved hand with long knives wrapping around a pipe, and she freaked out and changed the channel, years later, because I was a child at this point. I realized it's Nightmare on Elm Street. And I remember her telling me repeatedly Texas Chainsaw Massacre scared her like crazy as a kid, because it would come up on AMC every single Monster Fest. So those ended up being two of my favorite slashers, and I think it's because it had this connotation of I blame my mother for everything because I'm Freudian. Yeah, no, not really. Believe it or not really. Blood Husband can back me up on this one. But yeah, no, I absolutely love Leatherface and I love Freddy, because those are my two go-to slashers. Even like one of my favorite I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. It's like one of my favorite movies. So yeah, I think there was that forbiddenness about it. Yeah, new Leatherface is coming out soon. I want to say it was already out. Yeah, it's weird because this is an origin story, but we already have that, like Texas Chainsaw the beginning. At this point, like I have so many issues just freaking stacked with trying to figure out the timeline for Texas Chainsaw at this point. Like, it just got to the point where I started doing it chronologically. I'm like, I don't even care if the story makes sense. It's just like, I'm going to do it in year of release because I just don't want to have an aneurysm trying. Okay. This also plays into a theory I have that anytime you build a highway, people will turn into murderous cannibals because some town's going to become desolated. Just every horror movie. Blood pizza sounds weird. Their place is always blood. Yeah, probably. It would be kind of like blood sausage or something like that. Blood pudding. Still some video stores around here. Yeah, we do have a video store here in town. And it's weird because it's a very tiny, tiny chain that's like, and when I say tiny chain, like 3 or 4 stores. And luckily, the best one, the biggest one, the one with the most stuff, is the one that's right next to us. Local one is still, 5-minute drive from us. I need to check who's saying things, because I don't need to read anything from Blood Husband. I already know what he's going to say, because he's just going to yell and whine about how I didn't give him a nickname, how he finally got a nickname, and then my channel got torn down right after he got a nickname. This was a serious discussion we had. So there, they also did try and make that red box type thing with Blockbuster on it, which is really silly. Because when Netflix first came out, it was still DVD only. They didn't have any streaming. We still would go to Blockbuster for like newer titles just because it took them forever. But now, not so much. I have to say Halloween is my favorite slasher, but first Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, no, I know a lot of people love Halloween. It always seems split between Freddy and Jason. Or not Freddy and Jason, Jason and Michael. Yeah, I don't know why I said that. That's terrible. Family. Oh yeah, fair enough. Family would, ask what you're listening to, and I would be screaming about blood pizza and how senses work. Thanks, Blood lost my appetite due to blood pudding. Sorry, Wolf. Your story reminds me of when I was a kid, wanting to play Grand Theft Auto. My mom eventually caved. My pestering and bought us a copy. We played the volume off. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because, as I've said kind of in the episode about Real Death, where audio plays in a lot more than people realize, it really helps. I'm hoping the hipsters will bring back the video store after they get over Our local video store did the complete opposite. They used to have this massive wall of VHS, and we would go in there and buy, because I have a VHS. I've talked about that. I'm Dead Media. So we go in there one day, because if we hadn't been there like a month or two, they had ripped out all the shelving for the VHS to put up records. And I'm like, that's great. But records, it's the hipsters are becoming less interested in records and starting to pick up VHS and beta and laser discs. So they do have a band of laser discs, and I need to double check that because I have a line on a player. I'm very excited about that. Sorry, Fuzzums. Yeah, video stores are very, very hard to find, but some of us are still lucky and have a few. Went to Friday the 13th double feature at my local. Oh yeah. We have one theater around. We technically have two. One first run, one second run, and the second run almost shut down because they couldn't afford another digital projector. And the monopoly has gotten so bad on the first run theater that it's actually cheaper for us to drive like 20-30 minutes to the next town and see a movie there. Just, it's crazy. So it's kind of why I was like, I can't make it to the theater right now. But at the same time, I'm kind of not all that bummed about it because theater's crazy expensive and not all that good. Yeah, we'd really love an Alamo Drafthouse because those ones seem great, or like an independent, but nobody's going to deal with that. The one theater in town, though, will do old movies with the Wurlitzer. Have a good night, Wolf. Enjoy your food. Tape's been a bit of a comeback too. It's not common, nor does necessarily last as long. Yeah, I see a lot of cassette tapes, if that's what you guys are talking about. I have seen a lot of collectors for that. I'm sorry my neighbor's dogs are barking. Okay, Blood Husband. I got better. My theaters... Your theater gives out barf bag zip card? That's strange. Guess I can be back soon. Oh, great. Yeah. What do you think the most unique horror movie you've watched? Unique... I'm gonna have to go with the Vomit Gore trilogy again, just because wouldn't have really thought of that. There's a couple of other ones. There's the Takashi Miike film, Takashi Miike, Happiness of the... I can't remember the last bit of it. It was a musical. It was like this musical cannibalism thing. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of weird ones. Yeah. I also have to go with, on originality and just sheer sense of humor, there is a movie called Banana Motherfucker. That is the... Thank you, Blood Husband. I appreciate that you wrote it in the comments. I'm not even gonna try and pronounce it. Katakras, as I try and pronounce it. Happiness the Katakras. But that was really fun. But the movie is legitimately named Banana Motherfucker. It takes place in the jungle somewhere, and bananas just start attacking people to kill them. It's insane, but it's amazing. If you find a copy of it, absolutely pick it up. Okay. I just remembered you intend to go to see Jigsaw. I know they're milking the franchise. Oddly enough, at STC, I was talking to somebody about the Saw franchise because they had never seen past one, and somebody posed just like, well, really all that's at the heart of Saw is, do you want to live or you want to die? So I have been considering doing an entire episode on the Saw franchise just about that concept, because it is an interesting concept. It wasn't necessarily something that could have carried a franchise. It's very weird. So I'm definitely probably going to look at it. I will see Jigsaw once it comes to DVD or Blu. Like I said, movies are really stupid expensive here, and I can't sit up long enough to be in a theater. So that's just kind of what I'm doing there. Plus, with what I do, it's because I know, like, CZ's World and, like, Bloodbath and Beyond were covering it when it was in movie theaters, and they're just like, yeah, so we're going to try and do this, but we'll probably do it again because we couldn't, like, pause or rewind, and you have to do that a lot with this stuff sometimes, so it just is sometimes less frustrating to wait for the release so you can do proper justice when you do an episode about it. Not saying they didn't, just you can tell they want to do another one once it's out of theaters. 1 second, our cat's having a coughing fit. You okay, honey? You okay? You okay? She's still coughing, but she wants pets too, so guessing she's alright. Sorry about that. Just weird noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I don't know if you can hear anything over the dogs barking. Oh, if you Google banana motherfucker, it looks like the director put it at Bim Bim Mao, which is great. It doesn't surprise me either, because we saw that at Trauma Dance, and a lot of those guys put their stuff up for free. And there's a couple things I addressed in the bathroom horror episode that I had seen at festivals, and most of them I either got for free or because they were on some kind of streaming platform that the director put it up. Every now and again, like, because if I approach somebody about their movie, I pay them money, because free screeners are not going to sway one thing or the other. Mostly because I don't review, which is nice. Okay. Oh, yay, Wolf's back. Cass coughs like that too. He usually has a hairball and can't manage it. Yeah, she tends not to have hairballs. I really haven't seen the Foster doing that much. We have a few that have other hairball problems, but she doesn't seem to be like that. What did I miss? You missed us talking about Banana Motherfucker, the Vomit Core trilogy, and what was the other movie I mentioned? Happiness of the Catacross? One day I'm going to be able to say names. It's going to be awesome. Just that today's not today. I think I complain about that every stream. I get some kind of name I can't pronounce. But is there anything else anybody wanted to talk about? Oh, Banana Motherfucker. Somebody asked what the weirdest thing I've seen. And that was one of them. It's guys go into the jungle and bananas start attacking. Because Banana Horror was a planned episode. Because I have Banana Motherfucker. There is bananas play an integral, without giving any spoilers, bananas play an integral part in the movie Jack Frost 2. And that's the horror Jack Frost, not the family-friendly Jack Frost. So please don't get the two confused. And I know there were a bunch of other shorts about bananas. I just have to dig in them and figure it out. Critical, I'm not going to sit here and talk about how awesome you are. I already talked about you multiple times. Bob Bones, is that just because you don't like bananas to the point where, like, it's become a fear? Or did you actually, like, have a bad experience with a banana? Because, like, you're going in anaphylactic shock. I totally get you being afraid. Hey, banana. Yeah, bananas are a very strange thing. It plays in horror a lot more than people think. It was like killer poultry or bathrooms. It's just that thing you notice keeps happening, and I'm wondering if there's a reason why. Is a whole bad experience the whole thing? That's totally fair. Have a bad experience with something, it makes sense to be afraid of it. Naked Lunch is the weirdest thing I ever saw. We have a friend that we pranked with that movie. We need to stop pranking our friend with movies, even though we're going to do it on Halloween. We showed him Naked Lunch, and we were really not even watching the movie. We were just watching his face and just him trying to process it, because he's a little sheltered and doesn't do weird cinema all that often. The other time was, there is a movie, I believe it's German, called Suicide. Just that's the title of it. And the whole premise rests around these sociologists are trying to understand suicide more completely to try and help people. So what they have to do, what they start doing is they approach people and say, basically, if you're intending to kill yourself, let us film it. We're not going to actually help you. We're not going to get involved. But let us watch you and record it and try and see if we can get something from that. So it's very point of view, very documentary, rough feel. He comes in while we're watching it and we convince him it's real. So he thinks he's just watching all these people die. Not at all what happened. And we have another movie we meant to prank him with last Halloween, but we didn't because it's the WUHF, I want to say Halloween special. Because I bought that. We got that at Scares the Care because it's fun when you're friends with a local community, because sometimes it's hard to go a movie without seeing somebody you know. Stop. Blood Husband is pushing the film Chirpy. Let me put it this way. Chirpy, we saw at Trauma Dance on a Saturday morning. And they were doing a Saturday morning cartoon block. So they were trying to do the whole kid thing. And they really don't care because it's a free event. So they really didn't care when people were walking in and out. A lot of people were coming in with kids. And they didn't say anything. This movie, somebody walked on stage before it started and said, if you have kids, leave now. Like, they said, like, we will wait for you to get your stuff and leave. It's like, come back around this time. Like, way far out past when the runtime should have ended. No, it is not a movie about a British robot. Our one friend describes the movie Chirpy as a story of a really brave bird. It's, yeah, we are saying chirpy as in, like, chirping bird. Yeah, it's animated. It's like an hour long. We've, at this point, used that as an initiation to come into our home of, if you can handle this, you're probably just messed up enough to hang out with us. Which is weird, because we sound way more edgelord than we actually are. Probably Courage Will Give Me More Nightmares. Chappie, that's a movie about dancing penguins. Okay, we've really just gone weird. Tweety Bird. Yeah, Blood Husband kind of put it best. It's about the Tweety Bird and the magic mushroom. It does, there's a bird, there's magic mushrooms. We bought a copy, obviously, and the guy wrote all over, because it's just funny how you get indie sometimes. The guy gave us clearly a DVD he had burned from his own computer, written on the like a white sleeve it came in, which was just like paper. He had drawn all over it on the disc and just said, it actually says it's mushroom friendly, and everybody just kind of called bullshit on that. It's like, I don't see this going well. One of the people we were hanging out with was the head of marketing for Trauma for a bit, and he's like, yeah, I went up, I met the director. It did not make me feel any better about his film. It's like, sometimes you see somebody that makes something so messed up, and you meet them and they're like the nicest person, or you can tell they're totally normal and just a good human being. But then all of a sudden it's just like, I went to that guy and that movie didn't creep me out any less. Yeah. See if I can actually find it somewhere, because it's completely possible the directors put it up for free at this point, because it had a lot of buzz. Like, that was definitely the talk of the convention. Like, a day after it aired, people were still, like, just talking about Turkey. What do you think of Where the Dead Go to Die? I have not seen Where the Dead Go to Die. Chirpy was a short ride. I want to say it was about an hour. I always think it's shorter than it is, but I think it's about an hour. So yeah, it's right on that borderline between a feature and short. It's completely animated, and it's done in this very old kind of retro drawing, and it's not poorly animated. It just looks intentionally kind of loose, if that makes any kind of sense. I take Whistlehorn. It was Where the Dead Go to Die was not a good movie, in your opinion? Is it just like good for me, like that I didn't see it? Just double checking that I haven't missed anybody's anything. If you asked me something and I haven't addressed it, please feel free to shout it out again in the comments. Don't count it as spam, because sometimes I miss things. Yeah, it's a short unless you got the DVD from the director. I've tried too hard to be shocking. I can understand that. I've seen that before. Talk of the Blood family. You know, last person who had a loosely associated family that talked about blood a lot. Yeah, how dare you interrupt somebody doing that, Backbones? You're funny. Yeah, last person who had a family that talked and wrote about blood a lot. Yeah, that was definitely, Yeah, that was the Manson family. Yeah, they kind of like doing that, and I kind of don't want to go to jail. I don't like jail. I realize it's just implied. No, it didn't. Okay. Anyway. Hi. Sorry, the foster has just decided to come over here and be very needy. Alright, so is there anything else people want to talk about? Otherwise, I guess we're going to wrap this up because it's been almost 2 hours. I'm going to try and get some sleep, but I wish you all the best. Good night, Critical. Name your channel Manson Babies. It's going to be After Dark Analysis. Yeah, for some reason, like, I couldn't pull names out of anybody aside from Critical and, like, a handful of other people. The second I decide on a name, people are, like, coming out of the woodwork suggesting names. Just like, but I already picked one. Channel art's done and everything. I just have to figure out an intro things. I guess one thing, I've been debating this back and forth, and I guess I should just ask you guys. I know I always intro my videos of, hey everyone, blah 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 blah. Would you guys like to see that continue, or do you guys like want a music intro and just get right into it? Change it to Blood Guts with social commentary. Okay, the word hair was not the problem with the song Sex Hair. Maybe try and do a night audio talk show type of intro. I could see that. Yeah, okay, I think I picking up what you're laying down. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, okay, and Blood Husband's got you too, so if I get stupid and forget, he can remind me. Smooth jazz voice. Yeah, then I would have to, if you guys want smooth jazz voice, I'm gonna have to have somebody else come in for that. Do the thing where your voice waves show. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there were way dirtier suggestions. Like, we were just pitching out ideas, and then we just kind of looked at them and was like, wait, that sounds like porn. Wait, you're putting me in charge of remembering danger, blood wife, danger. Yeah, I know. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we can go back and listen to the stream, but I tend not to go back and watch my own videos on YouTube all that often. It's mostly if somebody points out a problem, or like how I had that accidental reveal of the ending of Sleepaway Camp for like a month. Because yeah, for people that are familiar with that ending, there's something I had to censor out, and yeah, it sat for about a month, and it got a decent amount of views, and somebody finally was like, oh, hey, the thing you meant to censor, yeah, totally showing. It's about a second too late. And that's when I learned I have to blur things in GIMP and then use YouTube's blur feature on top of them just to be extra triple safe. That's what I had to do in the necrophilia episode. Because there were, like, aftermath. Legitimately getting a still from that movie that doesn't have, like, a corpse is just dang near impossible. I had to do the same thing with August Underground, too. I had to, like, take a bunch of screen caps because finding a still from that movie that isn't too violent for YouTube is a pain. It's like, doesn't matter how much I censor it, because eventually you get to a point where you've censored something so much people can't even tell what was going on. Might as well wait pretty to the shit, huh? And for example, oh god, we were talking about, like, it was all something after dark, and no, it was not a penis emoji. Oh wow, you got old school with it. He like drew it out, because you can put smiley faces in the chat, but I'm pretty sure they don't have genitals. But if you guys are good and feel like everything has been addressed, I might head off here because I probably should eat something today. And sitting up's getting a little complicated. But yeah, if you guys have any like questions, feel free. I'll obviously stay on and answer. But yeah, basically all that's happening with the channel is it got terminated for God only knows why. It got reinstated for God only knows why. It's changing to After Dark Analysis. Everything's still gonna stay the same places, just different name. Something new and shiny that will hopefully not flag the YouTube bots. Yeah, let me look at the list and see if I can find one of the porny ones. Because this is very interested in the porny ones. There was that. Yeah, come on. I think it's taking forever to load, sorry. And oh, apparently Blood Husband has also been DMing me the entire time, reminding me of things, which is very much appreciated. It's not super easy to look in the comments, because I tend not to like to look away from the screen, which I should point out I'm doing right now, because I'm looking for something. Dude, where is it? Yeah, like worst case scenario, if I can't find it, I'll just DM it to Fuzzums, or I'll mention it in the next streamer, something like that. I hate what YouTube does, or not YouTube, Facebook. I'm complaining about YouTube so much I forgot Facebook is also a pain in the ass. No, I'm old and still use Facebook. I know, because it's not a thing anymore. If you didn't, get you later, but continue the story. Which story, Fuzzums? Did I not continue a story? If I didn't, I'll finish it up. Catch you later, blood. Oops, ignore that. See you, tentacle. Ignore you drawing a penis in the chat. People are doing that. I don't care. I accept that this is gonna happen. Last time we wrote song about Girl Scout cookies, I mean, or should I say Critical did and wouldn't let us forget he wrote a song about Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait, he's not here to defend himself. I probably should stop making fun of Critical Android. It's not nice to do that. Which chat was it? It's a problem with having like 20 group chats going with the same people. Oh, porn example. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Yeah, that's why I don't like looking away from chat, because sometimes I get clarification and I don't know. Why do we have that many chats going with that group? Yeah, I can't find the... Oh, okay, there it is. That's right, because somebody butt dialed me on Facebook earlier today, and that is the weirdest sentence I think I've ever had to say. Where's the list? There's where we're all talking about how we stay woke. Ah, okay. Blueberry Creeps in the Social Syrup isn't one of the porny ones, but was one of the weirder ones. Twilight Thesis we played down because just we were worried people were thinking Twilight as in the film. Oh god. I think we might have narrowed out all of the weird ones. Yeah, because I think all of them were plays on my name. It was like After Dark with me, or, you know, studying with, and I'm like, these all sound like really terrible, terrible things that people are going to come in with expectations that are just not going to be there. Because we wanted to keep it vague, so I could expand and change up what I'm doing if I want down the line. Like I said, it's been a year and I haven't gotten bored, but, you know, that's not to say that I'll be going forever. Creepy Curriculum was one of them. Oh, Infamy was pitched, but it sounded too much like inside that person. Yeah, but there were just a bunch of silly ones. I blame Critical for all of them. But I am going to head off here. You guys all have a good night. Thank you all for showing up. I do really appreciate it. I'm really glad to be back. I'm glad for everything you guys did, and just the support and all that. It's like, I get it. It was really, like, what happened with YouTube was shit, but it was great to see everybody kind of pull together, and it shows we can do that, which I think is going to be very important, because I have a feeling I'm not the last of it. So it's just kind of, we gotta all keep an eye out and get up YouTube's ass when people go away and we don't know why. So, you guys have a great night, and thank you, Pterodactyl, if you're still in here for the 2. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. And night, Blood Husband, Wolf, and Fuzzums. If Fuzzums, if I find one of the sillier examples, I'll send it to you. Night, everyone.